Senator Grassley.
Welcome, Secretary. On October the 28th, the Wall Street Journal reported that your department and several other federal agencies are involved in talks to offer massive financial payments to illegal immigrants. This is being done in order to settle litigation regarding the zero-tolerance enforcement policy. As you can imagine, many Americans think it's a pretty outrageous idea to offer massive taxpayer-funded payments to illegal immigrants who broke our laws, particularly in the middle of a record-shattering border crisis that this administration has created. The Journal made it clear that DHS is involved in these discussions. As the leader of your department, presumably you've been kept in the loop. Were you aware of the payments amounts under consideration?
Ranking Member Grassley, the Department of Justice is leading the negotiations in litigation arising from the family separation policy of the prior administration. I am not involved in those negotiations. I must defer to the Department of Justice. My focus in leading the task force is to reunify the families who were separated under the prior administration.
Okay. Mr. Secretary, the White House, Deputy Press Secretary, and the ACLU have all already offered public comments on these settlement discussions, so we expect you to answer questions about DHS's involvement in the case. So you're saying that there's no involvement?
I am not aware of our involvement in the Federal Tort Claims Act that are being handled by the Department of Justice. My focus is on the reunification of the families, the parents who were separated from their children.
Under the Department of Defense Death Gratuity Program, the family of a service member who dies on active duty receives a tax-free payment of $100,000. Under what circumstances, if any, do you think it's appropriate for an illegal immigrant who broke our laws to receive more money from the government than the family of a fallen service member receives under that program?
Ranking Member Grassley, when an individual sacrifices his or her life in the service of our country, wearing our nation's uniform, the family and all loved ones make that sacrifice as well. And my heart goes out to the families of those whom we have lost. I must again defer to the Department of Justice with respect to the negotiation in litigation of federal tort claims. That is not within my province.
The Wall Street Journal piece, it indicates that at least one of your department's attorneys complained that the illegal immigrant payout under discussion would be more than some 9/11 victims' families received under that program. Under what circumstances, if any, do you think it's appropriate for an illegal immigrant who broke our laws to receive more money from the government than any one family in the 9/11 victims?
I had the heartbroken honor of meeting a number of families who lost loved ones as a result of 9/11 on the 20th anniversary of that tragic day. And we are devoted to the well-being of those families. Again, Ranking Member Grassley, the resolution, the negotiation of the Federal Tort Claims Act arising from family separation is not within the jurisdiction of the Department of Homeland Security.
Well, I'm not asking you to comment on ongoing negotiations or legal matters. I'm asking you for your opinion on when it's appropriate for an illegal immigrant to receive more money from the government than the family of 9/11 victims. I don't think you're going to answer that question, so I'm going to go on. There are approximately 1 2/10 million illegal immigrants in the United States with final orders of removal. These are people who have received due process and been ordered removed by an immigration judge. In your September 30th memo, you said, quote, that the fact that an individual is a removable non-citizen should not alone be the basis of an enforcement action against them, end of quote. Does that reasoning apply to the 1 2/10 million illegal immigrants who have received due process and been given a final order of removal by an immigration judge?
Ranking Member Grassley, the policy that I issued on September 30th, I drew from tremendous experience, not only as a member of the Department of Homeland Security, but as a federal prosecutor. We cannot remove 1.2 million individuals, nor can we remove more than 11 million undocumented individuals who are unlawfully present in the United States, who might not have final orders of
You might be right on that point, but my question is, does the reasoning apply to the 1 2/10 million illegal immigrants who have received due process? I just want to know if it applies to that group of people.
It certainly does, and however, I would not necessarily accept the fact that all of them have received due process.
Do you agree that all these individuals should be removed from the United States? I guess you said you couldn't remove 1 2/10 million. Should any of them be removed?
Of course, I do believe that individuals who pose a public safety threat, who pose a national security threat, who pose a border security threat should be removed. And we should be smart and effective in our use of resources, and we should focus on the well-being of our communities and prioritize individuals for removal, just as I did as an assistant United States attorney, just as any responsible prosecuting office does in this country.
I heard you say you want to do your job. Let me ask you this, the last question. Have any migrant families at all been separated during the Biden administration? Were any migrant families separated during the Obama administration, during which you served in multiple senior positions at DHS, including Deputy Secretary?
Ranking Member Grassley, no member of a family was separated consistent with the policy of the prior administration to purposefully separate a child from the parent for the sole purpose of deterring irregular migration of others. We ended that cruel policy on day one of this administration.
Thank you, Senator Grassley.
I wish I had an answer if any members were so deported. Go ahead.
Thank you, Senator Grassley. Senator Feinstein.